Greetings. I am starting Montessori Mondays, where every Monday I do short videos about some part of Montessori philosophy that is relevant for you to understand your child's education and how to transfer that to your home. So this week I'm going to be talking about grace and courtesy. You may have heard this term thrown around in regards to Montessori, and to boil it down, it is manners, but it goes way beyond that. In the classroom, Maria Montessori believed that it needed to reflect the social community, and children should be entrusted with building ways to communicate with one another, take care of one another, take care of themselves in a socially responsible way that would translate to their life as they grew. And one of her big goals for education was to create future leaders who took care of one another and helped each other as they learn and become leaders of the world and go out into adulthood. So for these children, grace and courtesy includes things like how to interact with each other, and the lessons in the classroom are really valuable. There are things like how to greet someone. Children sometimes don't have the words to say when they're meeting somebody for the first time, or even interacting with someone that they haven't seen in a while. So giving them the language of, hello, how are you? It's nice to see you. Answering the question by saying, I am well, and having that back and forth really gives them that chance to learn how to introduce oneself. All grace and courtesy lessons are around this idea of setting an expectation for the child on how they should treat others and themselves socially. So we are putting a name to these kind of abstract concepts for your own society. So in America, it looks very different from other countries, but we also in the classroom are very mindful of the different cultures that are blended in your classroom. So something like a direct handshake, or looking someone in the eye, or touching one another might not be appropriate for every child and their background. So really, the teachers really approach it from a very broad perspective, and hopefully have had training in anti-racist, anti-bias education so they can understand how to support children who have different customs that they live in their homes. So grace and courtesy can be things like greeting one another. It can be how to ask for help. It can be how to initiate a conversation with someone, to wait until they're available instead of interrupting. It can be how to walk around someone's work to respect their space. It can be taking turns with the material. If it's being used, wait until it's back on the shelf. It can be how to say, excuse me, if you've bumped into someone, or how to serve others food and serve meals. So there's a lot that grace and courtesy is. And one of the most important things is how to solve problems. And this peaceful conflict resolution is so important for this idea of carrying on these caring, loving conversations into adulthood on how to see the other's point of view, how to listen, how to take your turn to speak and say what you need while also listening to what the other person needs. And these grace and courtesy lessons are really important in the classroom, but this is something you can translate into your home. And in the home, it's really important that we model these things. So if you expect when your child burps that they say, excuse me, make sure you're doing that too. Or if in your family you say some sort of blessing over your food or give thanks for your food, make sure that you are doing that too and modeling for your child that this is what we all do and this is the expectation for our social community in our home. Peaceful problem solving, especially if you have multiple children, can be turn taking when in an argument, and you as the adult can really facilitate that mediation of, it sounds like you're saying this, how do you feel? And the other child has the turn to listen and respond in a really kind and loving way. Grace and courtesy is so important, and I think it goes hand in hand with Thanksgiving. And so right now, I think it's really important that we kind of explore how we can add these types of lessons into our home and ways that we can incorporate grace and courtesy all the time. But this is a great place to start, a great time of year while gratitude and thankfulness is on our brains right now. So let me know in the comments, what are you doing? What do you already do? I'm sure there's lots of things that you're modeling for your children, but what are some things maybe you have observed that you'd like to incorporate? So let me know. And I hope that that was a good intro for grace and courtesy. Have a good day.